for. Polemic and no for push. I say no door.
Sierra Leone. Push. You ma killer this is for them. Hope for you say.
This ain't not a kush. No, not a kush. No, not a kush. Oh yeah. Yeah, you feel them. What are they on me eye? We are the see me sister them. They die in the street. Oh. Me I can feel them. When you they see me brother them in the streets. Yeah. Some they link they not. Some lay down a guns at the sleep. Oh. So when I ask them, tell me say na kush. Nike pull roll and son of them food. They prefer for left the horse them gonna get so all day they kush. Oh yeah, say not so kush. Oh. Me brother don't want before him time. Say not so kush. Oh. So we they use the old age man young. Say not so kush. Oh. The youths them just they die. Say not so kush. Oh. For you. We say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. We say that's a cushion. Papa government help we are. Say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Hope for you to say, is it all? That's all we say.
Me fambul them on a good evening, on a good afternoon, on a good morning. I hope say this house usai on a fen on a self. I hope say on they do well. I know say the weather don't change, right? It's cold. And the sniffles then don't begin. The small migraines, them stuffy nose. You know, congestion and all of that. And don't forget to ginger, cloves, cinnamon, lemon, Spanish onions, lime, honey. All these are natural remedies where now small money no more in small time you need for invest. But they do good in the system. So today we don't consider for talk about current issues making headlines in Sierra Leone. We go talk about three main things then. But as I promised so now we go continue with waiting we will not begin during the last show where we talk about we talk about patriarchal system, we talk about formation of culture, tradition. We talk about misogyny, we talk about patriarchy divide, we talk about, the need for people then for associated. We talk about, the class system, right? We introduce the class system, the formation of class system in Sierra Leone. Where I feel say a lot of people have been surprised when I introduced that topic. They are like, oh no, Salone don't get class system. Oh, come on, Matilda. I think you're stretching this. For you to say I'm stretching this simply means that you do not understand the geographic layout of Salone. It means say, if you understand the geographic layout of Salone, it means say well studied certain phenomenons and events then we don't happen at Salone for make we even day usai we day so know for say in that very I believe segment I introduced to I believe 3 or 4 major political candidates then, right? It could have been that segment, it could have been another segment, but no worry. Time get for calm way, we get to look at the 14 potential. Remember, 14 thus far for waiting we know 14 potential where they seek for vibe for the flag bearership of who that go on for take over the headman and the host in seat. Right now we get 14 name them. We get for see waiting them 14 name they also look like. Waiting at the history so far. And it looks like there is a no, make a hang on. A brr a little bit, make a brr small, make a left on her. And then we get for look at the 20 names them thus far. Potential where they vie for the other side, the APC, contending possibly flag bearership. We know for say both parties then, especially the SLPP party currently, then they review their internal constitution and say then they do update, right? And we also know for say recently a similar thing as well happened in the APC. We don't know if they will do updates before convention. But I think all these are interesting topics, interesting events, interesting happenings that we need for discourse. And we're going to keep piping. If you have noticed, I'm going to say are very selective on some of the things that we talk about lately. And sometimes you get for build energy and you get for save energy. Right now I'm conserving energy, right? You need for conserve energy, then a conservation energy mode. But for me quiz, you don't talk this talk here so small and chamot panel. I get me on the wise man. I get the wise man I also. They say if you work out with wise men, you the tendency for make you be sold is very limited, right? So I get the wise man I also. Mr. Jamboria tell family I do.
Ambulance, good evening. Well, maybe I'm not the wise man. Maybe I'm just the man who cares to find out because I don't know a thing.
Indeed.
Una kushia, una kabo, no piari, afuma minu, bondeshi abuana, kawiena. We don't come for can discuss today back. And before we dey go forward, Matilda, I go advise you when we dey talk about class. Let we audience not look at we Europeanized perception of class. There was class in Africa before the white man came. Over to you, man.
Absolutely, there were class in Africa even before the white man came. And if you look at, I don't know if any of you don't take the time for look at the journey of Africa, right? It's a documentary. I don't forget the journalist's name, very popular journalist on the BBC. Maybe I will pull up her name at some point. Very interesting.
Badawi.
Zainab, exactly. Zainab Badawi, that was her. Yes. So I go highly advise make people and take time. If you have a minute or two, make them watch that documentary. It's available on YouTube. Part of it, the good chunk of it, the solidness of it, the breadth and depth of it available on Netflix. Me, I watch on Netflix. As a matter of fact, now one of the movie them or documentaries them way I pin as my special. Like if you go to my list, now one of the things them way you see. I've watched it, and this Christmas, during the break, I'm also going to take some time to sit again and sip it in, because sometimes I feel say the information is lacking. I go do my own research. So now then seeing them day, sometimes then I we for the watch, we go inspire we for make we go seek for more knowledge, right? For understand certain things then. And just like Mr. Jamboria said, to watch that is to also understand the structure that existed that predates colonialism, right? You go begin to understand certain things then. So I highly encourage you to make go watch that documentary there by Zainab Badawi, very astute journalist from the land. Now, I want to take some time for make we look into something where they make news. And I know say some people they say, oh Matilda, since the last time you touched on the suspended attorney general in case, and you made a solid case and a solid closing argument, and the reports don't come on door and waiting. I'll encourage you now, me not talk on everything it's. So basically, I don't talk on everything predating the reports being, I talk after the report was submitted and say we need to know the outcome. Now, I not talk after them decide for make the report public. Me not talk, but not mean for say VOS not talk, right? If una dey follow Mr. Kagboin show, una go know for say on multiple occasions, as there is any development, it is taking time for really analyze for break and down. And I believe it was last week that we also saw the leader of the APC Parliament, Abdul Kago, table, reasons why they strongly believe, say, the move of the government to for pull the attorney general, not attorney general, the auditor general is the biggest mistake that the country can make, right? And it penned down some things, series of things then, where it long, I'm not going to talk about I ate, but somebody that picked this up very quickly and that really applauded this move was Batista Michael from, I believe, Sierra I think Senai, one of the people where, they run Sierra I, Batista Michael, and she gave very salient reason. And if una don't listen to me, right, remember say, me not a lawyer, right, me not a lawyer by training, meaning that I don't ever go law school for formally this, that, and then pass the bar and then do me articling, because that's so we they do, and I also do me articling, and then now become a junior associate, work me way to senior, and then or maybe establish me on farm. I don't ever do that. But I had the opportunity to study communications law. And I know for say that they is different from, criminal law, this, that. But that insight, however, like when I can say assets, right? You get an asset where you can always multiply. That insight has given me a solid foundation to be able to analyze things in a certain way. And so therefore, if you not only listen to me over these years when this thing began, everything with Batista Michael penned down in combination to the reasons then way the leader of the House APC give, opposition give, una go know for say this nothing always Matilda been on job watch. One way or the other, she has details, she has talked about these things, and sometimes in very in-depth detail. All this to say is that I know that you would want my opinion. It's coming because this not done it. I tell una say he not done it, and because he not done it, una not gonna give me opinion yet. And that is why I, as a team, will diligently make sure say Mr. Kagbo always they analyze the thing. And it is always good to have someone who understand the jargons and the lingo within a certain, I would say, field of studies. Me not study economics. I know nothing about finance. To manage my own finances, safe now. Let alone now public finance and all of that. This man, and then they make projection for inside the country one day. So you go understand one or two things, draw link here, yanda, yanda, yanda. Me, if I can talk right now, I dey talk in terms of the layman understanding and blow mind. And certain things not to blow mind need them. You need sense for talking. So that is why I leave it up to him most of the time to take care of the hard part of it. And then me come now, I take care of una your needs, una the emotional and conscience part of it. I hope you get my drift. Now, make we go inside one topic we have to do with our passports, right? We passport now we identity. We passport now in the show we who side we belong, wetin we belong to. We passport now like with DNA. So when there are situations where it dey affect or we passport kind side, una remember recently one Chinese man been dey make the round with we passport. He gets the salon passport, then inside the nationality say Chinese. Sorry, we dey see him facing a Chinese man, but then the nationality say Sierra Leone. And a lot of people took to social media, blah 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 blah. I did not comment on it. The reason why make I not comment on them is because you can gain nationality of a country through several means. Yeah. However, now we constitution as Salone, it states clearly through the different means wherein you go gain nationality. That being said, sometimes countries them, excuse me people, countries them can sell them passport them to other foreign nationals them for some reason or the other. I don't want to go in depth for what are some of those reasons. Because then explaining their reason and they go make we pivot the show to Usai and one for make it go. But passport na something where you dey treat with care. You dey treat them like how you dey treat your life. And especially in the wake of what we have just seen during the US election, the consequences of that may unfold or may not unfold based on what we know. It's very, very important for make we guard with passport with care and with diligence. And I know for some of una we feel, basically downtrodden about the US election. I will bring the professor. Don't worry. Even the professor bomb right now. So I'll have to left the professor first. Make he get that himself. When the professor don't get that himself, I'll bring the professor. And we'll talk about some of we foreseen consequences of waiting this mean, the outcome of the US election mean, as it relates to Sierra Leone, but also maybe widespread as it relates to Africa, the continent of Africa in general. One of the consequences that they foresee immediately is the union or the summit of African leaders where Joe Biden been bring come, where they bring leaders them from all over Africa, can sit down with them and say, what do you need help with? What can we help with to give you the capacity that you need to run your own ship and run it efficiently? Because the truth is, aid as we know it is not going to be long sustaining. As a matter of fact, if I can predict, I'm saying in the next 10 years, the aid that you used to know 20, 30, 40 years ago is not going to be the type of aid. The nature of it is going to change. So now that make it very, very important for make we countries and we leaders then be serious with we resources them and make sure say they use them diligently and make sure say then put them to good use for benefits the great good, and not just their family and clans and tribesmen, right? So now something like that African Leaders Summit, forget it. If you remember, because remember, I work in international development, and because I work in international development, and what is very extremely fortunate about my career is that the two things I went to school for is the two things I have practiced. Not everybody gets that chance. I studied communications, I studied international development and global issues. From when I left school till now, then three subject matter then they were talking about. So now I don't they practice. I understand it, I understand it, I understand it. If not can recall, during Donald Trump in first staying in office, that is when the continental aid as we know it dropped significantly. As a matter of fact, if I'm not making a mistake, recorded in history, that was the lowest ever given. Lowest ever, because for him, and maybe rightly so, in priorities than are in people, now in country first, not to for they give not to for panhandlers them for continuously collect and then flaunt in front of their people after they have collected and not done something worthwhile for their people. So what I can also predict, Mr. Jamboria, will also make you come and talk maybe a little bit about this. So that is one thing I can predict right off the bat, say that African Leaders Summit not going to happen. The second thing where I dey maybe predict right now is, una see that MCC money, that MCC money happened during Biden in tenure. It was as a result of that African Leaders Summit where they ask, and then the country say this, that, then say, okay, we go help you now with energy, and go through Congress, this, that. Now, I am just going to be honest. The tendency or the potential for that MCC to be canned, because remember now the Republican and the now then at the House, now then at the Senate. No, not forget that. So the tendency for that MCC money day, where some people don't dance gumbe for, yes, good for the country, good for the advancement, if used judiciously and properly. The tendency for making it come to light is very slim right now. Because I'm talking about a man whose policies I worked under 8 years ago. I can tell you some of the ins and outs, but because subject to my professional oath of conduct, I cannot say certain things and will never say. Right? Now, the other thing again, when I see the ambassador, when I say the medal, that ambassador was appointed by who? By Biden. What's going to happen? It's a change of government. So come January, very soon, that ambassador is going to be replaced by a Republican, or make I not say, in not come by ambassadorship, not come by whose party you belong to. Let me correct that, because I work in diplomacy, I know that. However, the person where he go appoint that somebody where obviously get for follow in dictates and waiting in wants and in agenda. Not to somebody where they can for how they call them, where won't go with tuna. So that's another thing. Those are the three major things that I see. Aid is going to dwindle. The summit is not going to be held. That money is dangling in precariousness. The ambassador is going to be replaced. And whoever they can for follow the agenda of the sitting institution. Mr. Jamboria, make a let me you rub much small on this before we enter into the other part.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much. I don't know if I for start if na the passport or the American situation because I think you don't do a very good analysis of what we expect. This tag, Make America Great Again, I think people need to understand what that means. It's about recovery of an economic power. So that means they are going to be more concerned about trade, not aid. It's more about trade, not aid. And America would only put money where they know they are going to make profits. Do we have something in Sierra Leone that will give them profit? Maybe. Can they afford to put money in that now? I don't know. So we therefore begin wake up in Sierra Leone. I think what we need in Sierra Leone, I don't talk over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. We need a new consciousness. We dey sleep in Sierra Leone. We for go back and listen to Bob Marley music 1980 in Harare Stadium, where he say emancipate yourself from mental slavery. We are coming towards that face to face in the new world. There is going to be a rise of nationalism in the developed world because one, they get a very old population. That's one of the facts we'll get for take cognizance of. Europe and America virtually get aging population. Then production level don't they go down, but they want to maintain their status. How do they do it? The few young people in the society are going to get very nationalistic. We have seen that in England. We saw it in Amsterdam a day or two ago. It's all over rising.
Yeah.
It's all about
And,
control
and, and,
of
and just
resources.
for buttress your points, sir. Just for buttress your points, sir. I'm not going to go into the racial dimension of the outcome
No,
of
it's not
the.
talking about waste. It's
I'm
not
not going
about
into that, but I know, sir. But just for buttress, what you just say is that one of the demographic that voted Trump in their highest number were young people. What does that
yes,
tell you?
nationalism. Nationalism rising because of the fear of losing control. We in Africa we sit down, they dance our together. Every day they cause and effect. We need a new consciousness. The world is no longer the place where you play ball as before. The rules of the game don't change. This Russia and China, what they look up to, they too have something to protect. If they are coming in, they are coming to look for benefit. You may want to ask, why is Russia more concerned about mining gold in Africa? Russia has the largest deposit of gold on earth. But they are coming to Africa to mine gold all over the place. China is coming to build infrastructure all over the place. We are going to the West begging for 400 million when we have resources that can give us 2 billion plus per annum. Then with the sack auditor general, where they think rationally say about this economy, this is the way we should do it so that thing go work for we. We get forget ourselves out of that loop of dreaming. The days of dreaming are over. The Donald Trump era get for come with new dynamics. They are not going to be forcefully implemented in this term. But believe one thing, there is continuity in the Western systems, their political economies. Anything where they don't institute now, if they say they work for them, there is going to be continuity. There is going to be continuity. It go difficult for change. So this is the time for us to wake up. Yes,
And
Dr.
let
Min.
me just make I just say this to people then where maybe they in despair and reckless abandon is that there's a little bit of hope. And the little bit of hope is that luckily America is a country of systems. And no matter who you are, you cannot truncate those systems to get your wish. So that is what is going to be working a lot for people. So when I talk about this, I talk about systems such as mass deportation. There are institutional safeguard or constitutional safeguard and policies within the freedom of rights and whatever they call it there for ensure that every human is treated equally under the law. So therefore, I'm not saying that the mass exodus will not happen. It's going to happen, but let me say this but. The but is that there are Republicans who are Reagan Republicans. And the good thing when people get going for them is that for most of these Reagan Republicans, they have also trained their kids to think and act in the Reaganism. So that is why you would see there will be radical. When I can watch this new House and this new Senate waiting there for happen, there will be radicals, but then there will be the Reaganers who will be the people who do the check marks, who do the balances, who do the no pause, hold on, too far, too much. Look at this, and because of this, we cannot allow you do this. So I'm talking about the people who were groomed in the consciousness, like the former Vice President Pence, who still have family members and luckily young ones that they have also nurtured in those train of thought. I hope so una get me clearly. Now make I deviate back to this salon thing and why our passports and safeguarding our passports and our sovereignty, because the passport now is sovereignty, is very, very important. For me, I read a tweet from Thomas Dixon, and I will just go through the tweet quickly, and the reason why me want to talk about this a little bit. So, a tweet from Thomas Dixon says Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, headed by Conte Tower, has revealed that the passport producing company NetPage has been producing passports unlawfully for the past year. The 10-year contract of NetPage has long come to an end in December 2023. And as such, a new contract should have been designed for parliamentary scrutiny and ratification. Sources at the Immigration Department reveal that other companies have shown interest in the passport contract, which will be better and cheaper. Okay, so now remember how I don't talk about the importance of passports, the importance of making sure that you're not going to the wrong person and this, that. But me just want to talk about ethics here. I just want to talk about ethics here. The question why they ask is, who is in charge of these contracts? Because for me, waiting me know, right, working in my field, if I get contract with somebody, okay, say a third party where they provide a service to my institution, I get a particular tenor or term of agreement where I work with them for. A year before that thing that they come to an end, or 6 months before it they come to an end, either either I contact them or they contact me to say, hey, our record indicates that so and so contract where you get with we, or my record indicates that so and so contract where I get with you is coming to term on this date. At that point, you begin engage with the person to see one or two things, whether you continue with the person on a new contract or you terminate the contract at the end. You agree that at the end of that contract, that's it. So for something this important to a nation, where the flag and the passport they hold the same value, I don't understand how an institution go sit down, say a contract like that they elapse, and then the person, the subcontractor, the contractor, still they go and produce something under your name. To
I
the
wonder
point where now elements, now in they bring and Canada say this contract be done oh. But then they still produce. And if
I
then they
wonder
still produce, they come to we force. Like, who holds checks and balances of this country? And I have asked this question many times and I'll keep
Matilda,
asking this question.
I want us to look at this thing from another angle. I see something here, and I believe say Parliament is doing justice. You and me know say Parliament now the general oversight of any nation. I don't care who that and they give contract for whatever, whether not for mining, for agriculture, or whatever. It has to go through Parliament. Parliament get for sit and discuss them at committee level, even on the chamber level, if need be, they approve or disapprove. What we see here is an administrative oversight. The contract ended. Maybe
Yeah,
internally, now make me point. Maybe between immigration department and the company, there has been a new contract signed which was not taken to Parliament. Why am I bringing this point? I am bringing this point because me and you know say several contracts don't be in Sierra Leone will not go through Parliament. This attitude of not taking things to Parliament has to stop. We country don't lost big time. In Lily, I on our minds. Come to the present. The executive arm of the country therefore respect the position and role of Parliament.
Every institution supposed to get a standing order and SOP where they guide them.
Yeah.
Every institution supposed to get that. And also contract na a binding agreement. And inside a binding agreement, it gets a how they call an expiry. A binding agreement is not forever. It gets in this particular case, it gets an expiry. So make we say immigration drop the ball. You as a business entity, why you will continue for produce or reproduce somebody in passport when you know for say your official contract with that sovereignty they don't end? Why will you do that? You as a sound business person.
That question raises another question. Who is net page? What are their ethical standards? Because in the business world, you the company or the business where they go seek for a contract get certain ethical standards where for observe. If you not observe them, if anything come out there, you not get any way for safeguard yourself. The government of Sierra Leone can take action against NetPage right now. Because as per the ethical duties, therefore don't check, say this thing don't go through parliament, it don't get parliamentary approval before then continue for produce them passports. Yeah. But what if somebody within the immigration department give them the assurance and it never was? You know, I don't want to make it personal, Matilda, but I think I know who is heading. I know who is heading the immigration department, and I know his ethical standards.
So for me, waiting even more jarring, sir, I'm sorry, is that they also say, callers just hang on at the canton immediately. They also say somebody from immigration say there are other companies interested in becoming the producer or in being
That
the
is
producer
normal. That
for
is normal,
cheaper
Matilda.
and lower. So it
That
means
is
to say
normal.
at the end of the contract, an open bidding no happen.
It not happen. That we are saying the same thing. We are on the same page.
Make I go to the callers. Caller, waiting are your name and also you they call from. Hello,
Now,
caller.
good evening from Leicester here. From this is Food Mustafa.
Okay,
Well,
hello,
I will
Mr.
reach
Fude
Usa on this right
Mustafa.
now. But that drive us Usa Mr. Kago will tap on Thursday because me I can always listen to the program afterwards. I'll be hearing Mr. Kago the try for talk about sorry for putting Abieno.
Go ahead.
He talk about the transition in the APC. I want them Mr. Kago say maybe now because you in be done class then two group in there as I mean bad people or inefficient people and nobody listen not listen that part there. What did they happen now, yeah? They make them clear. The constitution they get a lot of problems because we they make them to work for people for me some other particularly be the flag bearer. So they get a lot of problems that time there. But this transition where you will try for explain, it was quite clear. But the issue here is then they try for pretend like say they get interest over the grassroots. And this so-called grassroots now don't count the problem. Would that they come out say, oh, are they protect the party for the grassroots their sake, or are they fight for them because of the you know the party? I mean, are they fight for the grassroots them? Now they the problem there because they don't make them quite clear. Say that transition we try to talk about the leader of the party. They make a leader only after they don't select a flag bearer. So now maybe can make a back talks. They talk and say 6 months after the election, that person will step down, even if he challenge the result. Because maybe they talk about this because the other election when they challenged during 2018, they only talk that case day 3 years later. Now they talk that case day. So maybe now make them put on the 6 months if either they challenge or not. So that was so clear. The problem here is Samura, because according to what the party they talk, instead we want one, I mean, free head or whatever, or he stand up say, he fight for the grassroots, then so-called grassroots there. So now make Samura, he play this game, say, in the fight for the justice, electoral justice. So you know they go step aside. But under normal circumstances, if you go, they say in the national unity agreement, you go there inside that meeting there. When I make that meeting there, then talk say, okay, we will go before to the tripartite. That tripartite back, it come out, it done. When I take when I hand over to the president, they say nothing for implement them. Waiting again, it go stand there for. But the problem here is that this grass, even Madam you, he been come as a president because he said be hold on to this so-called grassroots they as they come I mean make their lives better. In a grassroots man. But you see now, in no have grassroots, APC no have grassroots. But this hypocrisy game, now he make this first day inside the party when they talk about transition. The transition is quite clear. May in just give because now they try for talks in the signatory. No, what about if you die tomorrow? It means the agreement what next? So if you agree to what you don't go sign, and then he step off or he wait on the side. It doesn't mean say if you get right, they don't call again. No. But that transition, you don't clear because now they make those clauses quite clear. So not to vacuum no day. No, like when you talk about the our national constitution, how then transition. No, they not get vacuum. The party leader now just possibly they come after they don't get a flag bearer for contest election. But the chairman and they run the party. Simple as that. Anyway, I don't know if I'll get time for calling. But I want to talk about this Donald Trump issue, but maybe later.
You will get for call back.
Call back.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I will go to the next caller. Okay, we lost the next caller. The only thing we may want to say about waiting this caller just say is that if there's anything that you people intend to do about this tripartite, I'm giving you an honest opinion. And an opinion coming from an expert who works in a certain field. If there's anything you people seriously want to do about this tripartite, you have from today, November 9th, to the 5th of January before Donald J. Trump gets sworn in to get it done. If you are really serious and intentional about this tripartite, I will repeat myself again. As a Sierra Leonean wearing the green, white, and blue, I may be Canadian, whatever, but Sierra Leone wants in my vein through and through. And so the onus is upon me for help me country the best way I can. And the best way I can is that you may think I am not intelligent or I'm just superficial, but make I repeat this again. You have from today, the 9th of November, 2024, until the 5th of January, 2025. Oh, January 20th is the transition. Thank you to my producer for correcting me. Until the 20th of January. Okay, so if the swearing in, formal swearing in at the 20th, so now get from the 9th of November today till the 19th. Till the 19th of January 2025 to get it tight. Because you see that money for that tripartite and blah 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 outside come out, not to America. The encouragement to ask you people to go to the dialogue table and sort this out come off from the Secretary of State, not to so, in America, not to so, influenced by the president himself, right? Biden, not to so. If there is two things I know, and two things to be true, if Salone really serious about getting things done, getting their hands dirty and making sure things happen, I don't give on a timeline within which one I need for work. That's all I have to say. Mr. Jamboria, carry on.
Thank you very much, Matilda. It's important to concur with that 100%. As a matter of fact, from the get-go, I am one person who said tripartite is a waste of time. That's not the path that we should have taken. We should have put more emphasis on having a government of national unity that excludes all the present players, then get people them way neutral, then give them terms of reference to maximum 3 years, then review a lot of things, then conduct elections and make sure say we move forward. Sierra Leone, we don't get an opportunity for do that at the end of the war. We never did. This is not the second opportunity. If we still miss this, well, Nyamakala will continue. The caste system, as it is influencing our political thoughts. People who deny that we don't have a class system in Sierra Leone, a caste system in Sierra Leone, they don't know Sierra Leone. I want to make one comment. Let Sierra Leoneans they know this today. Slavery was abolished a long time, but it was only officially abolished in Sierra Leone in 1928. And today we get an our DNA and we mentality. The class system as it is, the noble class, the artisan class, and the enslaved class, is influencing the politics. It's a passive force in our politics. Now that make we even with politics, you find out say certain traditional institutions they play greater role in deciding how the outcome will be. But for most of we were born and grown at the Western area, we not sabi after Waterloo, we not understand this. And that makes some of who don't see this with a preach till we try get a new national consciousness. But as you rightly say, the new institution coming to America not care about we politics and we elections and our profits, then they look for America. After that date, when that man take over, certain the tripartite and all the American government no ever get for talk about it. Who knows? Maybe MCC even they may not talk about it. We cannot presume anything, but everything is possible because now we are concentrating on making America great.
And so I just want for me only little observation. I'm not gonna go too deep. I go make Mr. Jamboria and take him from that era and bring and come. As a small girl, I remember there was something called equity, right?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, why was there so much need for the formation of equity? Okay. We move on from that equity system day, and then we begin hearing bombali, 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 bombali. Not so. And now we move on from that, we begin hearing the southeast, the southeast, the southeast, the southeast, the southeast. In this current formation of the APC, which one are they hearing more of? Kailon, 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 Kailon. Why the need? Why the sudden drum echoing? Kailon, Kailon. Listen, people, uno. Are you people with me at all? Are you understanding? Are you
To add something.
Just imagine. Me na small picking the talk when it comes to the political formation and then waiting and call. I don't even understand. I not even begin for scratch the surface itself. And there are things that are even deeper. Some of which, if I can't talk and I ask some people and go say, "Oh, come by you what, Matilda? Are you sabi this? Come by you what?" I just give you a small intro, no more small peperepe. Small rep. Make you begin think small. Why the need for these associations, this formation, and the constant drumming of them when they existed, when they were eviscerated, when they were reformed or transformed, right? When I begin think of where did the emergence came from, what led to it. Anyways, Salone is a very interesting place.
Add to what you've just said, Matilda. These are the issues we most times misunderstand and we call them tribalism. It's not tribalism. It's our caste system in play. There are lineage factors. There are status factors that are influencing everything that is happening in Sierra Leone. Until you take time or listen to those who know or learn about them, you'll never understand the bigger picture of what is going on. And where they talk about new consciousness, what I mean is we get to move away from that separationist mentality where the caste system creates what I go call a cultural apartheid. Let we can now and begin look at What in are the common bloodlines we bring we together and use that for merge the caste system? Because the caste system not they discriminate against within we linguistic regions them. What I mean, if you're not Tini or Mende or Kisi, now the same caste system there. But now that we don't westernize the thing without understanding it and creating political parties out of these caste systems, we create a school ascendancy mentality out of these caste systems. This is what is destroying us.
You got it. You got it.
We need
You
a
got
new
it. That's
national
it.
consciousness.
Yeah, we have a caller. I'll take the caller and then we'll transition to the next topic. Caller, what's your name and who the call from?
Nami again from Leicester. Now just talk about this foreign policy because if you remember, the last time when Trump came, the INBI wants scrap, even DV, all of those things. But in an American governance system, particularly foreign policy, you don't get no hands there. Inside the West now, when they make a budget, they get a particular amount of money within they put for, say, development aid. Now this aid now they use for control third world countries or developing countries.
I just want all you there, sir. I go give you time back. I just want all you there. I think I know how you they go. But also, like I said, this is my field. And because it's my field, I understand it so well that nobody not able to tell me A or Z. But what you can, from where you're going, when you're talking about this DV thing, what you can also recall is that during that era was when you have the lowest accommodation of migrants coming into America. Women for say waiting then truncate the numbers then is that they cannot to eviscerate the policy would obviously go against the Constitution and against international treaties to which the US is signed on to. However, what they then do is that then curtail, then cut down the number quite significantly. Continue.
Yes, I'm not even going to dispute that because that is a fact. Because the thing is that immigration has become an issue in elections in Europe. And now this ain't just Trump copy. A lot of people then think say, oh, now waiting Trump one can do or it's make the economy make it. No, now migration is used. Because now so then they win elections now Europe now. Yeah. Looking at Germany, all of a sudden the people already got talk migration, they did 20%, now they win at Austria, now they win at Belgium, now they win at Holland. So this is just what is happening. So I'm not going to contest that. People they try for reduce number of migrants coming to the country. But I just try to talk about the foreign policy where they do like that MCC, then put the MCC purposely for control third world countries. Now, if you see them, see put them into category. Oh, you don't know, you team up now. Now, deal with this man. Now, they match together. So, if Trump me forget hands in those things, them we didn't talk about foreign this development. If we don't talk about or if we don't do something about it in enforced time, where they think say they come scrap the DV because we'll be ready about that. So you not get anything for do. So this thing where they don't go signs with the government, we own government. Me will tell you categorical say there is nothing that is going to change significantly because American policy is aimed at controlling the world. And anybody will come today because even the ambassador not go change them immediately. They will only go change them when in time down. I don't know if not 2 years or 3 years any ambassador get. When in time down, now the one now they come, now Trump he own. But that person the way they can't continue the American policy, we go make sure they control Sierra Leone. Now so then they are the work. There is no way like we in Africa when that His Excellency now just they do anything, he point here and they point here, he control this, he control that. America, you cannot control a lot of things them the way you want to your own advantage or to your own wish. Because now it's system we don't ever follow. So the tripartite or whatever then be signed, me go tell you and say, let's wait and see. But I'm telling you and say, I go tell you and say, it go continue. Because Sierra Leone now one country where America or the West don't get under control. Where we know we come out of that corner there because we know we do nothing for ourselves. And Trump where people in the talk say they can't deport people. Now one thing I want challenge people and say it not go be possible. It go try for stop people the way they come significantly, but the one the way they inside for make it pull them inside America, it not go easy. I go left for you. I wanna thank you for the night.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. While I agree with you, there are few nuances that I want to make. Um, about the deportation, it is quite possible because within it you get humanitarian clauses. Under humanitarian clauses, they can drag them for as long as they want for. There's also what you call immediate deportation. There are different standards and principle under which they can deport somebody. The government is the government. They can manipulate them anyone they want for manipulate them, forget the outcome where they want. About the MCC, while I agree with you, I also don't work in foreign policy enough for no for say agendas and priorities can change. The one thing that I can tell you is that when there is an election in any country, especially a country with which you get so much close ties, okay, this is something I am where a very how they call them, it's public knowledge where I can talk about without going into the intricacies of my job. When an election they happen, it's just kind of like when an election, like a US election of France, Germany, or let me say like the G7. When an election that happen at the G7 countries, then right, it's in that happen within the foreign bureau, the foreign affairs bureau, the trade bureau, and they prepare two decks then, right? They prepare two deck. The one deck and then get experts then where they sit down for do them deck. They are the one deck basically now for one of the political structure, the other deck now for the other political structure. In the lead up to the US election, what most countries and countries like Canada did, especially countries like I said the G7, is that they prepare two deck. If Kamala win, we know it's not Kamala in policy and whatever. That's the deck, that's the ideology, that's the agenda we are going with. If Donald Trump win, Donald Trump in deck there, so this is the policy, this is the ideology, this is whatever. It's not even something new, it's because first of all, we have worked with this man before. So we have history to go with. We have very clear paths to chart. There's no mysticism in what we're doing anymore. So, sir, in as much as I agree with you with that assumption, I can also say to you, be cautious of that notion. Say just because it is entrenched as a policy doesn't mean priority cannot be shifted. They can be shifted at any time.
There are a lot of parameters for them to delay it.
Yeah, and exactly.
But we're not going to take time on that.
Right? Unless Congress come and sit down, and veto in action, it gets executive order. So you cannot tell me that because those principles are there, he does not have the right to enact mass deportation. He actually has the right to do so. But the only safeguard, like I say, like Nadamika say, there are checks and balances. Congress can come and what they can do, that sits down where they can do and decide for not pass that bill day. Or then veto them. There are actions that they can take, but that does not mean that they cannot do it. So I go let for make with the educate yourself small about the little gaps then and tricks then within are the systems that can be applied and that have been applied in other parts of the world, right? Make I go to the caller. Caller, what's your name and also you call from?
Yes, so on a good afternoon, good evening. This now someone.
Yeah, good evening.
How would they do?
No bad. I say.
No bad. Hello, Mr. Jallo. Jallo, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say before I get into the topic, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Trump for a win, an election win. I believe for say good for Salone, good for Africa too. Okay. Because I think viewers they get this so wrong when it comes to Trump. But anyway, Mr. Jallo, you refer something say Salone gets a class issue.
We get class system where they playing with politics.
A class system or class issue? Because it's the same thing. Class system.
System, not issue. Class system.
Well, issue is system too. So anyway, I don't believe for say Salone get class issue because law break it down. The definition of class issue. Sorry, you did talk?
Are they listening to you?
No, we dey listen.
I don't believe for say Salone gets a class issue. Law break it down. Law define what class issue is.
I want all the color.
Yes.
Because in as much as I want to make your point, I want to make you make them within the limits of the parameters the way we don't set out clearly. And then parameters then is that wait. Just give me a second, I'll give you your time back. Then parameters then is that we are not looking at textbook, Oxford, Cambridge, Merriam-Webster dictionary, encyclopedia definition of what these systems mean. We are going back, predating our colonial, colonial captivity to look at the formation of these systems,
Matilda,
how they operated, and how they were applied then, and how that has somehow filtered into our current existence. That's what we said. So now you can go ahead.
So anyway, the definition of a class issue, it's based on, you can break it down based on money, how much money you get, like middle class or the rich or the poor. Salone issue, what we get is straightforward. But again, I cautioned on last week, be straightforward. Salone issue, what we get is a tribal issue. Plain and easy and simple. It's not a class issue. England and America get a class issue. Now, when they talk about Donald Trump, this deportation. Did you know under America, under Obama is class one of the, it deports more people than now America as president than any other president combined. Check it out. Most of the Sierra Leone today, it ended at Salone. Now under Obama in administration, then deport them. Facts. So this man, I don't know why me couldn't hate him. Democracy don't play. Election don't go on. The people that don't vote for the man.
Hold on, caller. When you say you made a statement to which I need clarification. Because for me, when somebody lump me into a box, I need to defend myself if I know that I do not fit into that box. You said, I don't know why make una etam. Uda na the una we et udat.
Of course, you know one of it. Yeah, of course, you know one of them. Because
you
need to look at the policy. You. Now you are this.
Where it's you know the answer. Where it's who that?
You, Mrs. Matilda. You know one of the people.
It's who that? Who that?
You need to look at the policy. Sorry.
Hey God. Who that are hate? You say I hate somebody, so I need for know that I hate.
Meaning your bias in your law be factual. When you talk about Donald Trump, you don't demonize this guy like he's the boogeyman. He's not a boogeyman. The man.
Oh dear. Please give him some time. Give him another minute so he can keep going.
Yes. So anyway, So when one of the classes, my all deportation, Trump the candidate under Obama, it deports so many people than any other president combined. That's facts. That's facts.
Do you have
So
data to prove that?
first of all, Salon gets a classroom. What do we get is a tribalistic issue. It's a tribalistic simple. This is direct. It's simple because Salon. Name me the billionaire who gets a Salon. Name 5. We can't.
Mister,
Name 2. We can't.
Mister.
No, make it done, sir.
Mister.
Make it done,
Yeah,
sir.
I want
Make it
to
done, sir.
hold
Round
on
up,
there.
please.
Where they
No.
talk
Please,
of
please,
class
he
Yes,
needs
Mr.
system,
to
I know
finish.
they
I don't
talk
want to
about
hold up the line.
economic status. Or they talk about cultural status. And I'll refer you to go and do research on the caste system that we inherited from the Malinke culture. I know they talk about economic. You are talking Western book. I'm talking African sociology. Go and do your research on
We both saying the same thing. Caste
No, we are
system is
not.
the
We are
same
not.
thing
We
as
are not. Don't lead me,
tribalistic
sir,
issue.
please. No, sir. We are not saying the same thing. I beg to differ.
No. It's the same. When you're
Okay,
using
We are
let's just
talking
class
allow
issue,
him make
Western.
his points. Okay, I'm just giving you 1 minute minutes to
I
round up,
don't give you
please. I'll
correction.
give you
I'm
1 minute
listening.
to round up.
So based on what when they talk, are they listening to the when they mention the American election and Donald Trump? I think it's totally wrong because if people that they can at the county illegally, they open the doors free. Law says Salon as an example. If we allow, let's say Nigerians or whatever, then just cancel the county like that illegally, there has to be a process. Akana Australia, it was a process. And I believe for say when we back going to Canada, it was a process. So all waiting Donald Trump, they say, waiting the Democrats they do makes no sense because one, it is still all the job from the people them. It then they legally. So you then a Canada. So let's say you are citizen, then they open the door for illegal people then come. If you then take your job, what you go say? You go say, well, then people there then can illegally, then get the right for take your job? No, it's not fair. So this is what people are
Okay,
saying.
so basically, I don't allow you more than a minute, so I'll have to
Yes,
take back the conversation if you don't mind.
yes, that's fine. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you can call back again
Please
if you
go
get
and
more
do some
questions.
research, sir, on the West African caste system. You'd understand what I'm saying. You are talking Western
So,
system.
okay, so for this caller, I get 2 things for say. I think say I can like when people then they listen and listen carefully to what they say instead of making assumption. When I start about the consequence, I not say these are the consequence. I said potential, meaning that it may or may not happen. And I also said based on waiting we call you don't get an experience before. So therefore, based on that experience, then you expect the same thing to happen again. I said these are some of the things that I will caution about. I know, and again, I did not say they were going to happen. I said they may happen. This is English at the talk. And I don't ever talk about deportation when I talk about Donald Trump. I talk about in policy, within a campaign on will include deportation. Now, this is campaign on currently. I talk about that. I don't talk about in previous administration and say it deport people and this, that. I say the amount of them we allow into the country significantly reduced under internal. And there is proof and statistic to back that. You say, because of what I say, I hate Donald Trump. How can I hate a human being that I've never come in contact with? What has that human being done to me that I hate? Una can look for use very, very strong adjectives then. Very, very strong. The word hate is very, very strong. To harbor hate for somebody, that person there for don't kill me mama or me papa first, or maybe kill me man, then maybe I will get to that point where I will use the word hate. I don't know this man from Adams. We will never cross path. In his tenure, his 4-year tenure, he never came to Canada. Well, I would say maybe he came Canada, and I was one of, the engagement of protocol officers on duty on that day, and I happened to have crossed path with him. That did not happen. Because now, who now they do this thing? Now do and judges small. Small. Which one am you for God hate somebody when no pull, no pay, no pan? The truth is that I have a lot of family members in the United States. But the other truth that I know is that none of my family members will be affected by his policies. None. Don't get to affect any single one of them. Because they all hold the is it navy back or blue or they're all the navy back. A good majority of them were born there. So to be honest, none of my family member, the way you say blood to blood cold, none of them will be affected by any of Donald Trump's policy. But that does not mean that I should not think outside the box of other people that want to know for say it go affect. My countryman the way it go gets the potential of affecting and telling them that this, and this. Did I say here that I disagreed and that Obama not been get mass deportation? I not say that. Now during Obama regime, now we see Jamaica man, then deport and go salon, say na salon man. We're not to be we're not Jamaica man. So don't tell me about things I know. Do I agree with all of Obama's policy? The answer is absolutely not. Will I agree with all of Donald Trump's policy or whatever? The answer is absolutely not. But that is the freedom for me to exercise my agency. And you cannot tell me that because I am exercising my free will, my agency, that as a result of that, I hate somebody because my agency does not align with your agency. Remember, we live in the free world, and therefore the free world gives us the opportunity to exercise our individual agency, to agree and disagree, and respectfully do so. So while I sit here and I exercise that free will, I see no reason to be called names or to be subjected to names that are uncalled for, simply because you feel I do not align with your agency. Mr. Jamboria, go ahead.
You see, I go give a piece of advice. If we really want to begin get things right, let we follow the advice of Alvin Toffler. We have to unlearn to relearn. And that applies specifically to most of us Sierra Leoneans. There are things we believe in. There are things we hold as holy truths that are not truths. Talking here about Donald Trump, we are not talking about the person. We are talking about the policy and the outlook where we feel say go happen. Donald Trump's policy is to make America great, so his priority is America. Every other thing comes second. And because every other thing comes second, that we attitude of waiting for international community or hoping on international community will need for revisit them. Whether we like it or not, there are certain things where they get under this regime will go be reduced or go be limited. Life is a dynamic thing. It changes. What happened yesterday not correct today. And what incorrect today may not be correct tomorrow. So let we try for the unlearn and relearn. Coming to this class issue, I am not talking about that westernized, educated, rich class. I'm talking about Mandi, Malinke class system. We don't exist. We're not part of we all DNA. I grew up in a family where I was told somebody is my slave. Yes, that's class. We have class systems. Then it's written in our history. It's known to most of us that at some point in time, the British established a school. They said this school is for chiefs and their wards, sons of chiefs and their wards. That's class. We know that in some time in the recent past, we had certain people who came from certain categories of society. They were blacksmiths. They were this, they were that. That's class. I'm not talking about rich and poor. This class structure still exists in our society, and it is influencing everything we do. And it is even more pronounced in certain linguistic groups. A lot of people think the Mende people just go because the leader has said so. Bidi bidi mia. It's the class structure of the Mende society. We need to understand that.
No, it's funny because recently I get time for talk. I'm like, what is this bidi bidi mia, bidi bidi mia? Why is it so important within your linguistic group? Because I've noticed it's a very important thing within that linguistic group. And the person breaking down to me. And sometimes they now that make us say, make we understand with different linguistic group. Then when I bring that show, Salone We All Now One Fumble, it wasn't by chance that I brought that show. There is a lot of depth to that show where if we take with time, we learn, we unfold and relearn, I think say it go help we quite a bit. It go help we. I want to go back to me producer just take a minute for just do a quick differentiation out in column. I want to read something to Ona. Basically the differences between the two leaders, right? The policies them and why make one person be able to achieve something that look like an exodus, a mass deportation, and why make another person get basically get bottleneck, get difficulty for achieve the same thing. Let's look at about the Obama approach. What was the Obama approach? The Obama expanded enforcement programs and increased collaboration with local law enforcement. Example, secure community programs. This contributed to high deportation numbers, especially in its early years, and also the results of that. Whereas with the Trump, Bing Bing, you don't get these things done by Bing Bing. You get them done through collaboration. You have to work with your internal systems and structure. You have to hide their buy-in and corporations in order to get these things done. Because there are laws and there are safeguards. And if you are going to do them, you have to do them within the remits of the law. That is the difference. Waiting Trump in Binwando, Trump's approach, Trump prioritized an aggressive immigration stance, but his administration faced legal challenges, administrative bottleneck, and slow deportation processes. His focus was more on what? deterring immigration through policy changes such as family separation and strict asylum measures than on actual deportation numbers. And we saw that. We saw that, like somebody where they working at the system, we saw how the borders of Canada were choked, the Canadian border, especially the borders that were they closer to the US. We saw how choked they were. We see how people have been they take their suitcase, they cross border from the US. People don't tell us what we know. You might experience it from one angle, but also open up your mindset to listen and hear it from the perspective of another angle. Because you never have the full answer, or you never have the full picture. You only know what you know, and that is half truth. The other truth is on the other side, and somewhere in the middle lies the full truth. I hope so we understand, Recep. Now, I want to move on to something. And you see, oh, we have a caller on the line. So I'll go to the caller. Waiting on your name and who say you call from, please.
Yes, good evening, because when I make us when I even get so God bless you now, God bless the VOS family, and they always they make this example say a VOS na stand towards alone. You know, we get solar system, you know, pull on a do, you know, get sun, you know, they will get energetic light for labor for people. And so una thank you for what una they do, una continue to stand. You know, that the thing in this way, viewers can always get the talk. The people know they understand. Donald Trump don't kind of power. But that help brother, we cannot be listening to the old program, but just come from the phone call. You know, go to and call where the kind to election, they go to call campaign promise. You get for count to plan, they get for sell them plan, and the way you get for to the people and say that this are plan for do, that this are plan for do, and this are plan for do. And so then they really talk, the people who vote for you, they will let for see say you accomplished anything and they the what are supposed to know. And at the time to tell you, Donald Trump, the first car we come, it promised say they can build the wall. It say na Mexico will pay for them. Where he can upon, I can't find out, also Mexico to pay for them. He still go and find a way for get the money and let's start the wall and they begin build the wall. While we are not going to say they begin build the wall and they continue to build the wall. Now start deciding where they stop. So this promise Donald Trump give for say they for pull people them, even then just ask one of in member they say na campaign promise. They go for get people out of this country also. And trust me, they go for do them. Most of the people who vote for Donald Trump right now, in every kind of party, they don't get that because we know exactly how it operates. You understand? They look about the economy. But I'll tell you what to expect. Obama be deport people, yes. High people, yes. But give people a dignity in a way for deport them. But Donald Trump, in your way, we come, he can't fit. Remember, no more. Somebody go now. The Twitter must say you are fired. Where they're supposed to come and tell you now, fire you. They have government duty, they can fire you. You see how you disrespect they, and let somebody respect you. And let's say, but post we get money, we get power, no respect, no poor man. Post we land, you know respect for if you see more which are sabi, the one we know go school, you know sabi. And post we travel back, they say, but what you want to talk, and as soon as they do, for example, America, I saw that happen. In the go on live, not to go on live, you understand? So go for watch to them thing and day. And then Trump don't talk then till they really plan for do. And they don't support I don't begin say. A lot of people are now, even Pennsylvania, 97% don't have to say why you pass their vote. You know, possible again, because nobody know what exactly Trump they try to do, you understand? Then and that's the day and that's way back again. Salone money then to stake. Government we can, president we can, you get for visit anything. You get for put on hold and visit them. Let we see what happen now, even Israel. Where Joe Biden then a power, so 30 money for the send, it be they put on hold. First they negotiate and see what happen, waiting once they get before you realize the money. So that money then a Salone so back, they don't stick. They'll go for another one, they don't stick. It might be Donald Trump can say, okay, I'll look into that. They cancel and say the election is not fair or whatever they say that. They might say, okay, I do hold on. It's possible. Now it's possible. I'll get that clear. It's possible for you hold on. If you visit and say no, this is not genuine because not to illegal Democrat government they under. You know they will get. That's it in the way they will look into it. Okay, they'll go. But let's say what the debate we talk about DB. DB Donald Trump can't for repeal and force. He can't for repeal and finally for they come out. But because of the way how we America so get the Senate to get the House. Then when we not get the number for repeal and at the Senate and make it out say it's still there. If we don't repeal them, You understand me? And they really try to get people out. Some of Donald Trump supporters not be even know say people who will be the immigrants who can contribute to the income of this country also. Because they can work, they cut tax for the everything. Nobody know. There's someone they can those bad things they do. No, not go explain to them very well. And let's say about white fool people. White people no go school. Careful past the black. We not educate. Let's use the word again. The white people don't know educate. They really dormant past the black. Because we see them they do. Because look at Donald Trump tell we say look, we use I don't know that green question for COVID. We be make people die. And Donald Trump cause more disaster then. But let's tell you, any president to get a challenge. Obama be your challenge will be get and the same when the pandemic will happen in Africa where they call Ebola. When it happen because look tomorrow we like money, it's okay let tackle and day. And then tackle and they will not be able to make a circular the world. When Donald Trump because we don't come, you don't test will be get and you don't time it, and corona. And this thing don't happen from China. For let release money, for let them go solve that problem there and that. If people for all that money there, we can make another million people die now. So understand? And even Joe Biden now, you know, challenge we get outbreak will come, more that disease will come. But because it's tackle we know this no say a certain disease come, it's solve them instantly. And you know challenge will get back again at this war. We happen between the Palestine them and the Israel, you understand me, and Ukraine. So everybody gets in challenge we get for facing, and I get for dealing with no more. So at the time to tell you, Salone money there in the state. With the point more level make we get because like me, so I want light in that country. The way lights can be very, very, very good. You understand? But if you like no day, born development they come. So everything in stake right now, people don't begin to get to that point. So yeah, I listen through my phone. So I really don't beep. So I don't know if I call back. But I thank you so much. God bless you now. Okay. And Lord no say, waiting on a Trump promise, he get it for drum. At the time for free. Waiting for me say he do. For say they deport people, they get for deport people. And even say if he born self like this country also, you know for be citizen. He don't talk and they get and plan them. And they can work on and plan them. Waiting and talk and then plan them manifesto that they go with. Not to waiting they say they can do. But say waiting no plan they can do. So I tell you say they will deport people for true and they will try for a lot of things. It's with them. Where you go for pass, where you go do as a power as a president, it will repeal them. The one we say go to Congress, you get the Senate now, you get the Congress, you get the Supreme Court, you get everything for pass any law. So the whole world in the stake right now, they tell you, if you see, you will see the Ukraine president now, you don't begin to afraid, wait till that happen now. Because you know, say, not supposed to come up from again for Sunday again. For example, the type of talking now.
Thank you.
We support Ukraine.
Thank you very
because
much.
the trouble now, you know, say when they get for put on hold. So everything can change when the new president come. God bless you, God bless you. Now we say amen. God bless the viewers family.
Okay, amen. Yeah, so thank you very much. And you know, the caller makes some salient points. Yeah, make some very salient points then and this and that and not waiting and call. You know, Agenda 2025 might have been a hoax or look like it was a hoax, but trust me, una go find them very interesting for say some of what is in agenda, the hoax Agenda 2025 is going to show people its way. I know they say all, but some of them go definitely trickle their way to policy. And like you say, he made a very important point. Like I said, the man gets the next 4 years. They control the Senate, they control the House, the how they call them, the judges. They're all them three arms of government. Then they work under certain guidelines and principles. But guess what? You know this man is a pushy man. Like I always say, and I don't say him before, the only good thing that is working for the people, especially the immigrant community, is that there are laws and policies that cannot be truncated, that you can use the system to fight against. And that then happened during the first thing around, where we want to eviscerate the DV policy. He was met with a heavy backlash for certain reason, because the man not always understand policies and how they come to be enacted and formed and for what purpose and for what reason, right? And when they deal with somebody where blind like that, it's very, very difficult for work with them kind of people then they, you know, because And I know people and they say, oh, Ukraine is saying, no. Ukraine will be fine. You know why Ukraine will be fine and Ukraine will get the money to also defend itself? They're not going to get as much as waiting them when they get under the democratic regime, but they will get something. You know why that will happen? Again, because of those laws, checks, and balances that exist within the system.
And the
Yes,
business angle.
Israel.
The
Yes,
business
exactly. Yes,
angle.
Israel will get more money. Israel will be financed. True. There's no whatever about that. Netanyahu right now is, I'm sure, is doing catwells. But guess what? Even when within that sentiment, there will still be checks and balances that says, pause. Make I go to the caller. Caller, waiting on your name and no say you call from.
Yes, Mrs. Matilda. It's me again, Salon Fresh.
Okay, hi. I just want to
Yes, I
tell
still.
me make it show some of the comments then our YouTube page as the callers that they call. Please, Mr. Producer, if you can just be rolling some of the comments from our YouTube page so that people, those watching from both platforms, can also get to see. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, ma'am. I see when I compare both Obama and Donald Trump, correct?
We said the difference
No,
in their
meaning that
immigration approach.
yeah,
Now, be
them
the
policy.
difference in the immigration approach. We not
Yes,
compare them
that's what I'm
as
saying. That's
president.
what I'm saying. Comparison. So
Yes. We
policy matter,
compare the
correct?
difference in their immigration approach.
Now question and answer. Policy matter, correct?
Pardon me?
Correct? Policy
I did
matter.
not get
Yeah?
this.
Politician them policy matter. Eh?
Well, of course, policy matters. Yeah.
It's not it's 100%, of course. It's not just 50-50 or policy matter. So what's in looking at Obama in approach and Donald Trump in approach. Okay, let me give you an example. If you tell me, say, Salon First, when I don't do this to me, and Sierra Leonean, I only complain how this platform treats me for the past 2-3 weeks. This is an example. Obama in approach. If it's somebody tell you, say, like you, he care for you, una friends. Compared to me, when I be the call una, my first call, what una they tell me? Now call back. I they call past 30 times. Una need to pick up my call. Does that show that that's someone that cares about the person really want bring me in or want push me out? These are the things we have to be careful. When people they tell you, say, I like you, then behind your back, then backstab you, a bad personality. Then the person they tell you, so like Trump, he tell you, so I not like this, I not like you, I not like that. But he they tell you, even there's a book, maybe Mr. Jallo sabi this book, then call The Art of War. Business people they use them, politicians they use them. The Art of War. It say, know your enemy and know yourself. Because any battle, if you go first 100 battle, you go win. If you know your enemy, you know yourself. You know you enemy in weakness, in strength. Then you know your strength, you know your own weakness. Una treat me for the past 2-3 weeks. Now this week so I make a statement now on our platform, na Facebook. Una they talk about democracy, freedom of speech, but una they talk with phone call. Mina manner they run for politics right now na salon. I'm in a mission. I'm on a mission right now. I don't belong to any party. Any way luck give me for win leadership or president, I they take them. whether through democracy or through revolution mean. So what are the try to say? When one of they tell somebody say call back, then this person a young person is say interested in fixing the country, putting Salone first, bring the people then together, law avoid tribalism. Mr. Jallo, I cautioned you last week. Stop for use technical words. Even in laws, who be the study as a student, then tell we, don't be too technical. Make it plain so that, because the one they represent, no know, they confuse them. No know exactly the legal terms then. So make sure when they write the letter they send to them, make sure it's simple and plain. So I tell you, say, Salone we probably will get not tribal issue. This caste system by Indian term, same thing. Caste system is the same thing as tribalism. We are tribalistic. That is our problem. So let me go back. This Obama approach and Donald Trump approach. When one they tell me say call back, and I forget call back. They me back with me bigot. Oh yes, they elect me. Then I call pass 5, 10 times, 20, 30 times. I write on Facebook, another item. Now they suppress me call. Then when I get the audacity for can na this platform and criticize the governments there in or not.
Okay, so basically, caller, I give you close to 4 minutes. So normally we call them at 3 minutes, but I just make you continue for talk because I know I make it seem like I cut you off because of what you did say. But I still maintain as I hear you what you did say, right? I hear you loud and clear that basically the phenomenon we they talk about now the white teeth black hat phenomenon, right? So basically, if I can put on a plain Creole, which they try for talk is that Donald Trump, he go either show you white teeth or he tell you say he get black hat for you. Whereas you feel say Obama, they smile with you to in white teeth, but in actions them na black hat actions basically they be the result of in policies. That's basically what you break it down to. We can agree to disagree in certain aspects. Me, I don't like for lump every situation into one basket. I don't. I know they compare people them or how they analyze people in such manner. I don't. I look at the individual issue and I treat them on their own merits. Right? That's how I have. Even with this government, the past government, I've always done that. That's why sometimes the people can say, you look for say the married don't right. Then tomorrow then will say, you look for say, no, because I am treating every individual issue on their own merit. We don't they run out of time because I know me a person with very disciplined with me time. But I want to take the next 10 minutes for talk quickly about something. And hopefully we will pick them up next week and go into it some more even as we progress. And then are the fact that say now we get 2 operating law society systems in our country, right? We all know what happened at the AGM, na Kenema last year. We all know the outcome of that, and basically it appears as though they're not able to find a middle ground. And because they're not able to find a middle ground, and you see, for me, this is the beauty about democracy. You know, when practice in the open market, which it is supposed to be practiced, you know, when systems do not align with your values or your morals, there is the opportunity or space to develop new systems or to form new systems. And I believe say Nadande Nai basically happened before our own very eyes, that we now have the Law Society of Sierra Leone instead of the Sierra Leone Bar Association. So we get the Sierra Leone Bar Association where Tuma Jabi Gento and people and they run. And now you have Soisenge Mara Esquire, and I believe her name is Warise Kamal Esquire. Warasei.
Warasei Kamal.
Yes, Warasei Kamal Esquire, where they all two joined team together, and now they have opened what we now see as the Law Society of Sierra Leone. So, Madam Warasel, Sir, or Warisel, Seri, Madam Warisel. Yes, Madam Warisel Kamal. Be a meal. Until you know now. Yes, that is what I know, Wara, right? The Wara I can pronounce properly is the Seri Kamal sometimes that
in Papa name, Seri Kamal. In Papa said I've been lawyer.
I've been lawyer. I knew that. And also lawyer Sori Sengemara. This platform is open. As a matter of fact, I would really, really love to have the interview, a conversation that I get with people then. I would really love to have a call. As a matter of fact, Mr. Jamboria, you can make that happen, because I remember you actually penned, I believe, a chapter in one of his books, in one of his
well, we co-authored a book actually.
Yeah, you two co-authored the book, as a matter of fact, and I have a copy of that book which I am reading and still reading slowly. I'm purging into that book slowly. So you can make this happen. Get these two people.
I can see what I will be able to do to get the two of them, because even Wara, I think they're in contact.
Yes, so get Wara and Augustine on this platform. Tell them that I know what they see is not what they see. I am nice. Okay? I don't bite. I just want the truth.
But they know you don't bite. Don't worry.
You know, they are too astute lawyer. I think they can take the heat from me. I don't bite. I just want the truth. That's all. Why don't they come on board and let's have a conversation with them?
They will. I'm sure they will.
And let's set that up. Let's try and do that before the Christmas holiday kicks in. That I think that will be a lovely close to our segment for this year. You know, I know I'm going to.
We don't know what you do. I go talk to them anyway.
Exactly. Listen, it is not for VOS. They are doing it for the people. And I believe it is for the people that they came up with this. So for the people, I think they can make time. I would be very, very interested to have a sit down with them to really pick their cranium. Some of my questions will be tough, but they are lawyers. They can defend themselves.
They may be more than capable of answering them.
Exactly. We are just having a conversation.
I know why they went that route.
Yeah, and I don't want to presume. I don't want to presume. Now that make us say I go really want to get a conversation with them. You know, let's talk about this. Let's talk to the people. You see, people them already are agreeing with it on the different platforms that they are watching from and saying, yes, Matilda, 100%, they would like to have this conversation. I know for say some people then will feel say, because I'm not a trained lawyer, Lawyer Shilon maybe might be the best person to ask them these questions. However, let me make my case. Lawyer Shillon will speak as a
It's
lawyer.
not.
However, me,
If
Matilda,
I
I
may
will
come
speak
in,
for
Matilda,
people, right?
if I may come in, their
Yes,
action
sir.
is not more of a legal action, even though there is legality involved in it. Their
Yes.
action is sanctioned by several instruments that Sierra Leone has been party to. You see, the caste system where I talk about just now, I would come back to. We get a caste system where they tell we say who that they up here and nine right. So what is say nine final? No and no. Because Sierra Leone is a sovereignty operating on modern standards. We get certain
So I just
local.
want to hold you, sir. I just want to hold you before you continue. Robert Carbo say VOS can also invite Tuma Jabi. Me, I am an all opportunity person. I do not have contact with Tuma Jabi. I do not have contact with Wala, neither do I have contact with Sori Sengemara. Okay? The person where I know say get contact with them, now they talk to so right now, and I have made it open to the public and say, bring them in. If you, Mr. Robert Cargo, get contact with Tuma Jabi, absolutely let me know. I will take it on. I will
Yeah.
do it. She makes herself available. We would have the conversation. Trust me. Anything for the Republic, I will do it. Oh, make a caveat that anything but selling my body, because that can also be included. I do not sell my body. Okay? Anything outside of that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. The
Okay, go
point where I
ahead.
want to make, the point where they make it come up from two things. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We give every human being the right to associate or not to associate. I can decide today that I want to be a member of the Sierra Leone People's Party. It's my right to associate with them. I can be a member of the Sierra Leone People's Party and decide today that I don't want to associate with them anymore. It's my right to associate with them. Secondly, in labor standards, now I'm putting on my trade union cap. We get conventions them where they guide association of professional and trade bodies. Convention 98 of 1949, which was ratified by the Parliament of Sierra Leone in 1961, the 15th of June, is in force in Sierra Leone. If the Bar Association not suitable for any member of the legal profession, now then legal right for form another group. Even this group hold on form, so if people they want for come, they go form other group. Now then legal right. Nobody can question that or not. So all this talk around this and that, let people then know that. And according to international standards, any convention or whatever legal instrument, international legal instrument, we don't go through your parliament, you approve them. It's now a statute in your country. It's one of your laws. So you have to abide by it. That's a guiding statement. The lawyer then wouldn't come, then go can't tell now the reason will make the left or the not left. Would that they say, then go tell now the reason. But I want to take this as a caution, say, we have been brainwashed to believe that everything is politics. It's not everything in life that is politics. There are certain things that politicians cannot stop, and I think I know some of them. Like what they talk this now about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, certain things, then they know able to change them because the law not they allow that. Same way in Sierra Leone, law would not say there are certain things that are not and cannot be influenced by politics. But because we know they take action, I make a lot of things they go wrong. We they decide say yeah for do now. So the head of state don't say. That's how the caste system is negatively impacting our country.
Somebody don't call me out, oh, they say pick her cranium is too complex for us, Madam Matilda. Okay, make her go back. I want picking aid. I want picking aid,
Ordinance
okay?
and no man they do not know sabi book no sabi no educated. Do not know
He was say,
educated.
I wanted to pick her cranium. He said too complex for the ordinary Salome and Matilda. So I want for picking aid, okay? I want picking aid. Anyways, for me, I think there are certain things that cannot be replicated within a sovereign state, right?
Yeah.
Parliament, we can't have two functional parliaments because the constitution allow for that. We can't have two courts, right? We just get one court, right? The constitution will allow for that. We can't get two chief justices, one chief justice, right? We can't get two presidents, one president. We can't get two speaker of parliament, now one speaker of parliament, right? There are certain things within the law. However, remember the Bar Association is an institution. That's why it's called an association, right? So, the formation of a separate or a duplicate entity of such is within the remits of the law. That is why inside the Constitution of Sierra Leone it is written freedom of association. One is free to associate to whomever or with whomever, right? They so willingly want to. So I think all of this. Do we have time for what? That would be my last call because I'm wrapping up. I'm over time. So yes, I can take one last call. So for me, I want for really explore that notion of how this formation came about, what drove it, right? Because they had option of how they might call it, negotiating, and I want for know who side the brokers of the negotiation failed them, because the brokers definitely failed them for them to have resorted to this. Make I take the call and then we wrap up. Caller, what's your name and who side the call from?
Hello, viewers. It's Omaru the call.
Hey, Umar, I'm feeling you know the call today.
No, I'm not in the house.
Okay, go ahead.
I just listened to the program. John, give me some second. My phone the phone.
Okay.
Now they get me now.
Yes, we did
Yeah,
get you.
clearly.
Okay, I just listened to the program, but Matilda, you did on point. Foreign policy in America, you know they change, but government influence them. And this one, so we got one chance for setting straight right, just like that. In fact, that's the way you give it is short. Because when you check transition where they own now, the government of America, they focus straight on simple transition and their own system. And tripartite not a part of the foreign policy. The FCC is a part of the foreign policy, but tripartite not a part of the foreign policy. And with Donald Trump, anything can happen, anything possible. So for say you know get into the foreign policy, that is just what I would give them. Like out one example, Matilda. Now Jerusalem, for instance. Now an American policy say them for recognize two-state solution. And a state where Israel they realize them security, then the Palestinians will get the right to self-determinate. What Donald Trump can in time, what did he do? the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And he go ahead to recognize Jerusalem as a state capital of Israel. Remember, this is a standing policy of American government. Then Greco all solution and a two-state. But Donald Trump single-handedly with the administration, they do that. If Donald Trump they do that to America, and if they do that to just imagine America where it gets very good foreign policy with Israel, if they do that to them. Unana Africa. The man can record a first speech where he call Africans them as old. Because I go interpret and I go interpreter. Anything can happen. So what thing we get for to just go at the table, we solve the problem there, and we make us that money America promise we get her before Donald Trump come. We not go say we not get her if Donald Trump they will get for be delayed. Donald Trump not give a fuck to Africans. The only thing Donald Trump think of right now profit. If you not going to do it profit, you not get earn. So Sierra Leone, just to put you to Matilda, let we try to solve the problem there. And we got a lot of obstacles when I this Samura Kamara when na part of the opposition. A time not to let it move ahead. APC na a well organized political party, then they get another negotiator with to Samura Kamara. If you intend not to let it move ahead, it go na corner, it makes us it gives space to other Sierra Leoneans around that country peacefully. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Umar. So when we do the 20 where we know so far, you will tell you Uswamp and the 20 we're capable of taking on the baton. But anyway, for today the show we go now, so we go left hand for today. Next week by God in power, we go pick up where we left off. We go to build up, maybe just add one or two things that unless something crushingly important happen that we need for dedicate single attention to that thing there, I think we'll continue our discussion on these events and waiting that mean Mr. Jamboria will work behind the scenes to see if we can get Wara and Soi here with us to have a conversation for make a pick their aid. I think that will be very, very nice. Before we go, actually, Mr. Jamboria, say your last word to people then, and then I go close.
Okay, thank you very much. I will just make a brief. You see, I'd emphasize this word again. Sierra Leoneans need to begin to build a new consciousness. I see somebody, they comment, say politics, this, that. Hey, your politics is not politics, and that's what I'm talking about. What you call politics in Sierra Leone is not politics. It's hierarchical impunity. And in countries we get systems, that's not a work. And we get lost then as Sierra Leone where they control them things then they, but the people of Sierra Leone, then they always fool and say, Uda the up yonder and I get the highest power. Your constitution, chapter 2, is clear about where power belongs. Sovereignty belongs to the people. It's there, it's stated, chapter 2 of the Sierra Leone constitution. So that you politics where they talk, say they work, they work to some of we. Because when we come for say, let us do it according to the rules, we can create maximum pressure, like how this bar association create maximum pressure, they don't get the young group. Then say the pen is mightier than the sword. What in that mean? Get the relevant knowledge. Then nobody can hold you by your nose and go side the one care you go. There are rules we guide them to what in and do so. and nobody can challenge them. And I want to make this statement. The issue of the Auditor General, as the APC parliamentarians, they don't stand so. If they stick together, nobody can change it. These are examples of where that what you call politics does not work. If people know what they need to know, they will do what is right and get it right. We need a new consciousness in Sierra Leone. That traditional caste system, say, how for do, mind me, obai, konong, let we move from there. Let we move from there, please, if we want we country for go before. Otherwise, I'd like we change all the political parties in Sierra Leone, we come with new names. As long as we still get a cultural attribute, we would have leaders who will misuse our country. That's why we need a new consciousness. We need to understand what you need to understand so that we go move the country go before. When I thank you, we go come next week and continue from here.
Yeah. Coupled with waiting the APC parliamentary caucus, then right, when I say definitely I will definitely pick certain key points them where they make in their position. When I not forget, say, I believe the Association of Chartered Accountants in Sierra Leone themselves don't come, then give very, very salient points them. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sierra Leone, very, very salient points them. And listen, an expert is an expert, a professional is a professional. You cannot tell them what to do.
Exactly.
You cannot teach them their job. This not job them way, like I tell you now, them people there, so their oath is not only to Sierra Leone, their oath also na international. Because if the mistake do they get around, then they pull them. There are laws within which then they work, code of conduct within which then take oath for not just for the country, but also internationally. If the mistake, they lost their license. They lost their license. So I don't see how a chief minister will come, can talk on something and which way he not get expertise in. If somebody can talk on his own job where naina an expert in, or in field where naina an expert in, and the person erroneously, wrongly represents waiting is supposed for say, he go gladdy, he not go gladdy at all. So, una no worry, I dey make me bullets them. When I don't make me bullets them, una go see me yellow highlight them, go surface on the day when I go touch on all of the points they are so from the different perspectives them and what have you. But before we close, una not forget to December they come. When we app been launch, I tell una for say December light me and light you get for day. I don't forget to me a woman of a promise. I know go tell you na the day in December where I go tell them na that app day they do light me and light you. And then some man go miss. And then I go can't tell them now what's happen. Na that light me and light you day. Then go say, hey Matilda, what's make you up a lamp way? Now I don't give you a small carosino. Una make sure so una download that app. Una make sure so una sign in. Una make sure so una register, una do and all what una need for do. Because me I know they give notice so where I get for go switch the light on for make we do poda taxi you. Anyways, make I left una na yaso. May God bless you all. May God bless Mama Salone. Until we meet again, by the grace of the Almighty, Unatata.
We drive Kushna Salone, but we life them.
That is so right, yeah now. What's if they do? When we bother them, they die. Push on the health, now them body just they try. So foot at them body, they and now they just they cry. Now we bother them foot so they swell, now why? I don't know if now the chemical or what's in them they put. Best now for avoid them, nothing but the suit. Other food and they for it, come up be young kush. We still bring this message so you do work for you. On the
Every day we dey lost it, man, their life because of good.